Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the December 18th edition of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jake Hughes, alongside the old man. Old man, how the hell are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing okay. What the fuck was that, by the way?
Me? What are you talking about? You're all over the place there.
You were moving stuff.
Yeah, God forbid I show while I'm also hosting the show. And you're clicking buttons over there, and you're during the intro, you're clicking on captions to things we're going to be talking about.
Hey, just host the show. Let me do the rest.
Oh, you know what, guys? We're going to let him do the rest, and I'm just going to host the show. What a week. What a great week it was for Vancouver sports.
Whew. I tell you.
We got some exciting BC Lions news. We got the Canucks doing what they always do. And we have NFL news.
How can you even say that the Canucks doing what they always do?
This year? No. This year, every week we come on here and we're like, they're still doing it. When's it going to fall apart? And it hasn't yet.
Not yet. It's still clicking away. I don't know. It's just every game, I hold my breath. Because it's like when is the bottom going to fall out?
It has to. It's going to. We know it's going to.
But why does it have to?
Because we're Canucks fans.
Every show I listen to, I listened to like 3 shows this week. Today. And they all said,
very early in this week, so yeah.
Yeah, it was today. It was Sunday too. And every time I listened, they said, sooner or later, the Canucks are going to suck. And I'm like, why?
I don't think we're going to suck. I think we're going to come back down to earth. We have it later in our rundown.
Maybe this is reality. Maybe this team really is this good.
Then we need the full season for everyone to be convinced of that, because there's no way you can convince me right now that the wheels aren't going to fall off and we're going to stumble our way into the playoffs.
Can you imagine not making the playoffs at this point?
It's almost mathematically impossible.
It would literally be like we would end up coming on here crying. Like the two of us would just have tears. That would be the whole show. It would be Jake and Kevin cry again.
That's all you could do.
It would be
what else would you?
I would burn my jersey. Not this one though, because I like this one.
I wouldn't. No, you could never.
I would burn. I would set up a fire pit right here. See it right there? I'd set up a fire pit. I'd burn the flag. I would burn my jersey.
Some sort of fan you are.
Seriously, like this is the year. Think of it.
I don't think this is the year. I think this is the start of what could be great things to come.
I already have Allison set up, telling her that get ready, Jake's going to be living here.
Well, so I texted you yesterday, and you didn't reply to me at all about this. I have a Europe trip planned for the end of May, beginning of June.
You dumbass.
If there's a goddamn miracle, because I planned this trip in August. If there's a goddamn miracle and we're on a Stanley Cup final run, I'm going to be in Europe. Let that sink in. I'm going to be in Europe if the Canucks go on a run. And you know what that means? That means I'm staying up until god-awful hours of the morning because there's no chance I'm missing those games.
We'll just have to cancel your Europe trip, dude.
I feel like there'd be someone who has very strong opinions about this and might come and kick your ass if I try to cancel the Europe trip. But yeah, so that's a realization I made.
I was thinking of smart ass remarks I could say, and I decided to take the high road.
I appreciate that. It's the first time you've done that before. But let's talk about something that's a lot more exciting. Something that is more football related than hockey related.
We got things that are exciting.
Nathan Rourke was placed on waivers by Jacksonville Jaguars and was claimed today by the New England Patriots. Now, Nathan Rourke has been on the practice squad of the Jaguars all season, basically, except for some very, very small, short stints being called up in injury relief duty to hold a clipboard or to be on a practice, to fill in at practices.
Yeah.
Is that going to change? Obviously, the Patriots need to hold on to him now because he's been claimed. What are you doing? You're falling apart. It's like the last show. It's the last live show of 2023, and you're a mess. Just falling apart.
Shiny object. What were we talking about?
Nathan Rourke going to the New England Patriots.
Oh, yes. I honestly think this is Nathan's opportunity. This is what it's going to take him and allow him to actually play, because let's face it, the Patriots suck. What are they, 3-12 or something? They're horrible. I think that's the record I saw today. And they have no quarterback.
3-11.
3-11. I think the last few weeks of the season here, they will allow him to play and see what he can do.
Because they do have a young quarterback I think his name is Mac Jones. Yeah, Mac Jones.
He hasn't done bugger all.
But he's a young quarterback. And from all sounds of it, it sounds like Bill Belichick is on his way out as GM and coach with the Patriots organization. So
I saw somebody talk about stupid people on Facebook. I don't know why I read and then the
problem is just you can't just read it and let it go. You get these visceral reactions that sit with you.
You fudging idiot. This guy's like, well, if Nathan can't learn from Belichick, he's doomed in the NFL. It's like, what are you talking about? The kid hasn't even started his career in the NFL. If he can't learn from Bill Belichick, he's doomed. Shut up. Just sit down, shut up, let the professionals take over. Holy fudging hell. Anyway, it triggered me. So, yeah, I think they're going to give him an opportunity to play, because when you waive somebody on... when you claim somebody on waivers in the NFL, you have to add them to your roster. So he's going to be on their 53-man. They may as well give him an opportunity to see what he can do.
And really, at this point, it's if you find something with him, it's found money.
Yes.
Right? Like, everyone remembers the preseason play where I'm an official. If I'm an official, I'm blowing that play dead in a preseason game. And yet he manages to get out of there without the whistle being blown, not once but twice, and makes an insane throw.
Oh, I mean, he completed 71% of his passes in the preseason. Yeah, I know. Sit down. Sit the hell down, Smurf Mafia. God, I hate those people. It was preseason. We all know that. Give him a chance. Give this kid a chance. I'm telling you, this kid... it will light up the NFL given the opportunity. And I really think that with New England, he might have that opportunity, which is really cool.
Yeah. And I think it's also like maybe a throw the last dart at a wall for Bill Belichick, and if he finds something in this kid, is it one of those, oh, maybe he's still the quarterback and GM we thought he was? Or quarterback, like the quarterback finder that he won.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Tom Brady,
Came from out of nowhere.
right?
Seventh round pick, 8th round, literally the last round of the draft when they had that round. That's when he was drafted.
Yeah.
How did he get his start? I actually saw this just the other day.
Somebody got hurt.
Yeah, Elway took a stupid play, went headfirst into a linebacker, knocked himself silly, and Tom Brady never looked back.
Yeah.
And it was a relatively unknown, not athletic game manager who is considered the greatest of all times.
Now you put someone like freaking Nathan Rourke, who's super athletic, has wheels on him, knows the game better than anybody. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Nathan Rourke. It'll be interesting to see if they let him play. I'll be watching.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
But he will make
an
additional $400,000 for the last few weeks of the season.
Good for him.
Yeah, or I think his total will be $400,000.
Okay, that's all right.
Not bad for the season, eh?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'll take that once in my life. Just give me $400,000 once in my life. I think I'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it wouldn't last you.
No, but I'd still be like, if I'm still working and then I get $400,000 and continue to work, I'd be pretty okay.
That'd be okay.
I'm pretty young, blow it all on hookers and blow. It's fine.
Yeah. Don't forget your dad,
the other piece of football news we have is the CFL released their schedule.
Woohoo!
One day later than they did last year, and let me tell you, fans were some upset on the social medias. I don't know if you saw some of that.
In true CFL fashion.
What do you mean?
They kind of just put it out there.
Every single team put out something different. I have no idea what you're talking about on this one.
But like the CFL didn't make a like when the NFL puts their
because the teams put it out.
But there was no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Chutzpah, no pizzazz, no.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was like,
Literally, the BC Lions did exactly the same thing as what's. I can't remember the team that did it. They did the exact same thing.
But with no
Edmonton. Edmonton put out an entire video that was an SNL spoof.
But there was no build up to it. Nobody knew about it.
Everyone knew. If you followed the CFL, you knew when it was coming out.
Not true.
That is true.
Mr. Rod Peterson on his show didn't know the
last
CFL
3 years
schedule.
It's been released the same week.
But it wasn't like, okay, on the 12th, on December the 7th, 16th, 15th, whatever day it was that came out, we are going to release our schedule. No.
Why? It's a real schedule release. It doesn't have to be glitz.
But the NFL, I mean, they make a big to-do about it.
No, they do. Again, it's the post from this. It's from the independent teams that do that. There's not a huge follow. You're not getting millions of retweets on a schedule release from the CFL team.
You could.
No, you couldn't.
You could.
You're not getting the same viewership as you are as the NFL.
Build it. They will come.
They are building it. They're doing exactly the same thing as the NFL. So they're building it.
Don't make me come through this screen at you.
They're literally doing the same thing. They're putting out their own twist. Each team is putting out their own unique videos to build up the season. We're in December. The season doesn't start, preseason starts May 25th. We're 6 months away. That's insane. You want them to shut down TSN and put out a missing child alert on your phone? Be like, guys, schedule's out. There's so few people who care about the CFL the same way that me and you do. The same way that the people listening to this podcast do.
Maybe if they actually promoted it. I didn't know it was coming out.
We're in the same groups on Facebook, the same ones that you love to antagonize. And there was like 1,200 posts the day before saying, "Hey guys, we should be looking out for the schedule because it came out this today last week
But nobody
or
knew
last
it was
year."
coming.
No one knew it was coming the year before that.
That's my point.
And now, oh my God, next year it'll be the 4th year in a row that they've released a schedule this week. Guess what? The week of December 18th, the week before, so like the week of December 12th, you know what people are going to be looking out for? You know what the fans are going to be looking out for? They're going to be building anticipation themselves rather than being told to build it. You're a wrestling fan. What was bigger? Dave Bautista winning the Royal Rumble the year he came back and was supposed to have the moment, or Daniel Bryan when the fans demanded it because it was the fans who built it up?
You can't even compare those two.
What are you talking about? It's the exact same thing.
He's so dumb. Sometimes. So BC has released their schedule, and they start on the road in Toronto.
Starting the road at Toronto.
What I noticed a lot, which was really cool for all through summer, they're doing the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing all through summer.
Yep.
There'll be Sunday night football for those Americans. I'm hoping that with their they actually throw them on those Sunday night games on CBS.
I would assume they would. I think CBS Sportsnet would be stupid to not.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, they haven't gone that far, but should I rant?
I mean, I was gonna poke it out of you eventually. So
why in the hell does the league continuously bow down and kiss the Smurf Mafia's ass? Why?
I don't see if it's the conversation that we had when the schedule was first released.
The season always starts, or should. It should always start. It used to, way back when I was a young guy, a rematch.
That was many, many years ago.
A rematch of the Grey Cup. That's what it was. You always look forward to it. You get a rematch. Soon as you had the schedule out, which sometimes they announced when they were going to put it out, and you look forward to it because you would be able to see the rematch of the Grey Cup with the winner hosting.
Who cares who hosts?
Huge care.
You're still getting the Alouettes versus Blue Bombers. You're going to get it in the summer. In Winnipeg because, let's face it, no one wants to go to a goddamn Winnipeg game in minus 50 degrees.
But that's not true because they go to.
Yeah, but once they start losing again.
Think of the celebrations that you could have on your home opener, being the Grey Cup champs, and you open the season, the first game of the season, and you're at home. Think of it. As a marketing guy, you must understand how big that could be.
But so Vegas, when they won their Stanley Cup, I don't think they played at home for like 4 games. And it's still a big event. It's still, no matter when you play your first home game, it's still a big event.
Football.
But no matter what, it's still a big thing. You make it the Alouettes don't play at home until the 3rd week.
I know. And then I figured out why after the fact.
Probably because they have some sort of French festival going on and they can't be in their stupid arena.
They got the F1 happening.
Okay, so sorry, some race cars that turn left and right. How original. Oh my God, this guy has a lead by 7.5 seconds and they're going 200 miles an hour. I wonder if anyone's going to catch him. Nope, it's been 3 hours. No one's moved a position.
So I'm taking you're not a fan of F1. Just
no.
Toss that out there. You're very argumentative today, Jake.
I am. I'm in a great mood today. I've
Did you get laid last night or something?
No, I'm just in a great mood. Like, work was boring as shit. I almost have a week off from work. Like, We're feeling great. I took a little nap before this.
So did I. Only like
Yeah,
5
see, the
minutes.
difference is when you take a nap, because you're old, it takes you a little while to get going. So, like, maybe next time wake up a little bit before the nap, and you good there?
Folks, why do I put up with this shit? Tell me.
Okay, so going back to the Canucks, the Lions schedule, any games that really stand out to you?
Yeah, we play Winnipeg 3 times.
Again, we play them 3 times. And
Yeah.
now, if this was your argument, I could 100% understand it. We played Winnipeg 3 times last year. How many home games did we get against them?
1.
How many home games do we get this year?
1.
If that was the argument you came on here with, 100% I'm on your side. How do we not get 2 home games?
Yeah.
Versus 1 away?
It amazes me.
The nice thing, though, the really nice thing is, and looking through the schedule,
look at the last 9 weeks of our schedule. Count how many home games we have in the last 9 weeks. It's insane.
Jesus, 4?
6. In the last 9,
August.
we have 6 home games.
Jesus.
I know. It's like, yeah. It's not, they're calling it a balanced schedule, but I was like, well, we'll take that. So the last half of the season, we play 18 games. The last half of the season, we get 6 home games. And I think a lot of that has to do with BC being a very much a fall team as far as being able to draw a crowd in.
Not just that, but you also got to think, like, the way I look at it is get Winnipeg, get Calgary, get Edmonton, get all those games done when the weather's okay.
Yeah.
And the last 9 weeks, when you're into September, October, we've been blessed here in Calgary with, today was plus 5 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I went for a walk
insane
today, and I wasn't even cold. It was like, what the hell?
Yesterday, I went to go Christmas shopping for the last little things. I had a window open when I was driving home. It's insane. But there's no guarantee you're going to get that weather next year in October. So get all those outdoor games out of the way where you can have them inside in a more better climate inside BC Place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's to be honest, I haven't gone through the schedule that close. I did look kind of when we're playing Calgary. We play only one time we play Calgary here.
2 times if you include preseason.
Yeah, it didn't include preseason. I'm not renewing my season tickets, so we'll have to buy We'll have to buy tickets for that one. I will go through the schedule
in the new year.
In the new year, and really do the same thing I did last year.
Yeah, no, I
break it down.
Again, we're 6 weeks or 6 months away from the schedule starting. So we got a lot of time.
Can't come quick enough.
And you know where you can read those lovely articles, the breakdowns and things that we're talking about there?
I'm thinking HughesSports.ca.
Correct. You can check it out there. HughesSports.ca. You can check out all of our ramblings, writings, rants, breakdowns of schedules, breakdowns of weeks when we remember to do that and have time and mental capacity to do such things. Yes.
No, that's good.
All right. I thought you were putting your finger up because you had something to add.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Vancouver Canucks. Was that you putting memories back in your brain? Like, is that a reverse Dumbledore pensieve? Like, you're just like, oh, right, hold on to that thought. Can't have it lose. The Canucks, they're you've lost it today. What has gone on with you? You've gone off the deep end.
Don't make me laugh. This is a serious show, goddammit.
Yeah, can we keep up this pace after 32 games? 32
How many times this year for this season are we going to come on and say, every week we say the same thing? Can we keep up this pace? Apparently
21, 9-2. We are the first team in the NHL this year to get to 20 regulation wins.
I'm just giddy. I remember starting the season doing this show, and I was like, Oh God, I got to put up with Jake and his whining.
And I said, you know what? I'm coming in. And I'm going to be pessimistically optimist. I was going to be the most reserved optimist I've been ever.
And I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna be horrible. Like Jake's just gonna whine and whine and whine and whine.
And you know what we're talking about? You know what we're talking about? We're talking about third line scoring. We're talking about Brock Boeser on a give me 1 second. Brock Boeser here. Brock Boeser on a 59 goal pace.
59. That's insane.
We're talking about 3 players on pace for over 100 points this year. And another 2 that are almost a point per game. And yet, I look at the team, and I look especially at Elias Pettersson and his line. And despite his 39 points in 32 games,
he sucked.
He doesn't look like the Elias Pettersson that we saw even earlier this season, or at the peak of when he was like. And I don't know if it's a chemistry issue with Lafferty and Mikheyev, if it's an injury, or he's working through something, or he's just trying to simplify his game. But I don't think we're seeing the best version of EP40.
And yet he's got a point per game. Come on.
Over a point per game.
I think if we don't see a Boeser and we don't see a Quinn Hughes, a Miller doing the things that they're doing, Petey's season looks pretty dang good.
And that's a crazy thing. Our defenseman is at 100-point pace.
Our defenseman, folks. It's
our goalie in by the Vegas record books, like the Vegas betting books. Our goalie is the number 1 favorite to win the Vezina. Our coach is number 1 to win.
Don't say it.
Jack Adams. Our defenseman is the number 1 to win the Calder. Tell me a better Canucks team.
You know what? And it was funny because that was something I was really trying to go back and look and say, have I seen a better team? Have I seen, like, obviously 2010, 2011, that was a pretty darn good team. We won
back-to-back President's trophies.
Yeah.
Back-to-back.
I don't think they were as dominant as this team has been this early. Obviously, because there's not been a Canuck team that's put up a record like this in the history of the Canucks. Think about that. 50 plus years.
It's insane. And I'm going to pull this up here because I know I really want to talk about this. Brock Boeser is just being better. First off, I love alliteration. Just Brock Boeser, 32 games played only, 23 goals.
Jesus.
I have this up here. Career stats. Last year, he played 74 games. You know how many goals he had?
How many?
Throw out a number. Just guess.
18.
18. He had 18 goals last year.
I knew the answer.
He's got 5 more goals in 42 less games. Half a season more games to play. And he's already scored the most goals. Almost the most goals he's ever scored.
And the thing is, we're almost halfway through the season.
10 games away from halfway. Once, our next live show, presumably in the new year, will
be
halfway.
Close to it, eh?
I think the middle of January is going to be our halfway point of the season.
Yeah. So, I mean, I shake my head. I don't even know there's no words anymore. There's no surprised, elated, blah, blah, blah. Every week you just go, and it's, let's face it, the games on the weekend, the Saturday, Sunday, back-to-back games, they were not great games.
No.
They were rather boring. Yawners.
But honestly, win me 30 of those a year. Win me 30 yawn games. where I literally can turn on the game, scroll through TikTok and scroll through Twitter, take a nap, wake up, and not miss too much. But we still
Yeah.
get the win. We get 3 out of 4 points on a back-to-back, on an early back-to-back. 11 o'clock start Vancouver time.
Yeah. 11 o'clock on the Saturday, 12 o'clock on the Sunday.
Yeah, but you also had travel, not far travel, but you went from Chicago to Minnesota. Like that's it's a little bit of travel. It's about an hour flight.
Yeah.
Not ideal. But now you have a day, basically an extra half a day before tomorrow's game.
And the thing is, I mean, you look at what just happened this week, and we played 4 games, and started the week off with playing the Devils. No,
we played the Lightning, Panthers, Wild, and Blackhawks.
Right, we played the Lightning. A lot of people, including him over there, was questioning me when I said we're going to beat the Lightning.
Oh, I stand by. I thought that was a very bold claim.
And then we went into a Luongo night. Talk about mixed feelings. I had mixed feelings.
I don't know if we haven't really talked about it all that much. A lot of people share your sentiment.
Yeah,
that little you talking about that clip that we put out on socials. You can check us out, TikTok, YouTube Shorts here on YouTube. Got quite a bit of views on it. And near the end, it was a love-hate relationship.
Well, and people always remember the good times when you got a great like Luongo. He was great, no doubt about it. But he was very inconsistent. Through his tenure here, he had like his floppy style. They were showing highlights and his floppy legs going all over the place. Looks but like you know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of Trent Lowe dancing. And I got to stay quiet for a sec to let you clip that, and I can send it to Mr. Lowe. We have to get a clip of Trent Lowe dancing. We must have that on Facebook.
I don't think anyone wants that or has that clip.
Anyway, it was a cool night. It was a cool night. Lots of emotion filled the whole arena. And what did we do? What did we do? What did I say we would do?
We did exactly what you said. That the ghost of Luongo would possess Demko.
Some of those saves he made.
There was one save in particular early in the first.
Yes.
Where literally the building started to chant Lou because Demko was down and out and just threw his left leg up and got the puck. And literally I was sitting there and I was like, that was a Luongo style save. Literally out loud. And then the crowd started to chant Lou. I'm like, all right, I'm glad it's not just me that saw that. Like
I literally yelled Luongo, great save, Luongo, in my best Shorthouse voice.
Not Shorthouse.
Larshide voice. Sorry.
No, I got that wrong last week, and then they were talking about it in the broadcast.
Yes,
they're like,
it was Larshide.
Tommy Larshide.
So then we have our Saturday, Sunday games, and we come off that emotional shutout, and go in and play the Stars and take them to overtime.
Not the Stars, the Wild.
The Wild, sorry. The Stars.
The North Stars. The North Stars moved a long time ago, old man.
Also,
did you know in the Wild logo that first off, it's a bear. Lots of people don't know that. Just going to share that clip that for everyone to take a look at the logo. It's a bear. And in the very top left-hand corner, there is a star.
Yes.
It is because they used to be the Minnesota North Stars. They then moved to Dallas.
Did you know that Rod Peterson's dad worked for the North Stars for many, many years as a scout, and he has rings. He has Stanley Cups rings from when the North Stars won. Yes. Yes. Anyway,
so yeah, we go into Minnesota.
Go into not only overtime but the shootout, and
I want to talk about that game a little bit because the early start looked like it really, really affected the team. Because
certain members of the team.
Yeah, the top stars, really. Like, it was the top stars looked like they didn't get their morning skate, they didn't get their normal routine. And was Ray Ferraro on commentary that game? I think he was in between the benches.
Might have been.
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% confident in that. Whoever the color commentator commented on it, like, it's really hard as a player when you're used to your set routine that you wake up, this is when you have breakfast, you do your workout, you have a nap, or you do whatever you do to relax. You go and you do your mornings, you do a skate, you come back, you stretch. You don't have that. You wake up and you start basically when you'd normally wake up from your nap, and that throws your entire day out of loop.
Well, yeah. I mean, I mean, when do you eat your big meal?
Literally, you'd have to eat it the night before.
Well, yeah, and then
And
you're not
then,
sleeping right.
like, and there's
Right?
so many different things. And I always bring it up because back in the day, the Canucks used to be like the forefront of a lot of this dieting and sleep schedules and all of this stuff back when we were the top team.
Yes.
But it's even been talked about, when you are a West Coast team and you're coming to play a matinee, that first period is almost always sluggish and slow, and we looked terrible in both games.
Miller at one point looked like he didn't want to be there. You could see he was just like, I don't even know why we're doing this. He was pissed. You could see it because he doesn't hide his emotion whatsoever.
No.
Right?
But luckily, and we're going to talk about it after, our third line, fourth line guys, the energy guys, don't get me wrong, they kept us in the game. They did their best to try to wake up the star players and held off. I mean, they scored. Our third line scored in both games.
More than once, 2 times in that game.
Dakota Joshua, yeah, I think Dakota Joshua, and I know this because I picked him up for fantasy, has been on a tear.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
We haven't seen this type of third line scoring from the Canucks since our run, when we had Higgins, Lap, and I can't think of the other guy on the third line, and it just works. But we lose the game in overtime or in a shootout in a game that we played, I want to say, a period.
Oh yeah, we played the second period, and that's about it. But we get a point.
Yeah.
Then we go into Bedard land.
And the North Van native plays his homegrown team, the team that he cheered for growing up, the team that he should have signed with. Should have, would have, could have.
I was watching that game, and I'm like, what if Bedard would he have been at 40 goals? Like,
but so think about that. Like, alternate universe,
we win that lottery.
We put him. Is he on our third line? Do we start him on our third line?
Or a second?
Or do we put him with Brock Boeser and JT Miller? Or do we put him with Ilya Mikheyev and EP40? No matter what, that's not a bad thing to have.
But literally, you had a stat up there with Boeser scoring 29 goals now. No, how many goals?
He has 23.
23 goals. Could Bedard be better if he was on the Canucks? Think about that. I was watching. Holy crap, can that guy freaking skate? Like, he's amazing.
He can shoot. He can pass. Like,
and the thing about when he shoots, I'm going to get excited. When that kid shoots, there's no, like, a lot of people will telegraph they're going to shoot. You can see the shoulders. Even Pedersen, you can see he's going to shoot. That kid just, and it's in the net.
Well, and not just that, but he also, and they've talked about it a lot on the broadcast. And if you have a chance to watch a Bedard game where you're not cheering for the Canucks and you can just watch Bedard when he's on the ice, even if it's just for like 10 minutes, I recommend doing it.
Yes.
Because when he gets in the offensive zone, he's constantly looking around. And when he goes to make a shot, he does his, I'm going to try to show it here. So he has the puck here, and he'll make a slight adjustment as he's about to shoot to hook that puck. But he doesn't do it every time. And as a goalie, that's got to be almost impossible to read because you're waiting for that. And because he's not telegraphing, because he's got a very unique release, he releases that. You have to be ready to go, or you have to be ready for him to make that adjustment.
Or you just got to be in the right spot and hope to God the puck fucking hits you. But he ended up with 2 assists. He didn't actually score a goal in that game. He ended up with the 2 assists. And the Canucks come out with a win.
They do. And they go
3-0-1. Predict. Well, actually, am I still on a streak? Because I did say 3-1.
You did say 3-1. I will give you it because technically, in my books, it is still considered a loss. It's a shootout loss or an overtime loss.
So
I will give you the 3-1. So you're what? Is that 3 weeks in a row now?
That's 3 in a row. Whew. This kid's on fire. If I had money, I'd be rich.
If only you had money.
Whew.
Something we've talked about a handful of times, but I just want to keep talking about it because it's so great to see this third line of Garland and Joshua, and whoever they're playing with, whether it be Suter or Bluger, they just know where to find each other. And Garland has been such a unique enigma on the ice because he's so weird, he's so spinny and frazzly, and he throws people out of spots. And it just seems like Joshua's learned how to understand what he's trying to do.
I think it was a third, maybe the 4th goal, the Canucks goal.
That deflection goal.
Where Garland literally knocked a puck out of the air, down to his skate, kicked it forward to himself, and then it was like, that was the one where I freaking sent you a text that said, that was all Garland. He didn't score the goal.
And then by the time you sent that, then Brock had scored the next goal.
19 seconds later, yes.
That goal, first off, that goal is even more weird because Garland flipped the puck up. It bounced off of Joshua's head, which is then where Garland knocks it down, kicks it to himself, comes into the zone, spins, and this beautiful slap pass where Joshua changes the angle of the shot so much that I don't think a robot would have been able to stop that if seeing it.
It was insane. It was one of those goals where if you didn't pop, if you didn't go, wow, you're not a hockey fan. Just go sit down and shut up.
We're just going to start using wrestling vernacular. You're not popping for that. Cheap pop. No, it's so nice to see that there's scoring coming from somewhere other than Miller, Boeser, and Petey.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, those guys are going to get their points. They're going to eat. But having a third line that is going out there and trying to put up points and is a threat, it adds that another level, and it changes your team from they could get lucky and go on a playoff run to this team has a legitimate chance if all these players stay hot and stay healthy. Knock on wood.
Yes.
This could be a run. This could be a Western Conference final or better. Like there's 2 teams. There are 2 teams that I'm scared of playing in a 7-game series.
Vegas?
Nope.
You're not scared of Vegas? I'm scared of Vegas.
I'm not scared of Vegas.
Who are you scared of?
LA.
Yep.
And Colorado.
Okay. Throw Vegas in there too. I wouldn't want to face Vegas in the first round.
No, this team has everything you need, especially with the additions of Zadorov. You've got Bluger, Suter of just defensive bodies. Like, I think it's a way better organized and built team.
I can't see this team, if the playoffs were to start today, if this was playoffs, there is not a team that I would be like, oh shit, we're going to lose 4 straight. Like, we're contenders. We might not be saying that, and I get people, oh, stop, you Canuck fans. Oh, Canuck fans, you're being over me. No, shush.
Contenders is a strong word.
We're contenders. We're in second place in the league. Come on.
Okay, we need to...
Yes, I know. Oh, we that bunch of kind of, and then they got and then we got the fucking
No,
BPP
it's... and it has... No,
QQRSTUEVWXYN
it is.
fucking Z.
It is... No. This is a conversation that the league is not ready for because they want parity in the league. But you need to be looking at point percentage and not just wins or points.
Right
Points
now.
are
Look at the standings. Where are we in the standings?
technically by point percentage, or by points. Sorry, by points, not point percentage. We're in second.
Thank you. That's it. End of story. We're in second.
No,
Thank you very much.
No, you can't.
Yes, we can.
You can't.
We can. We
not
can.
do that. No, you can't.
We did.
The reason you can't is because the teams have not played all the same amount of games. So if you go to league and you sort by search or by point percentage, we are in fifth.
But we should actually be like, when you look at it, we've played more, and we've won more. So that means we've worked harder.
No, that is not what that means.
Yes, we worked harder. We played more games.
So point percentage.
They're
right
sitting
now,
down there at 30
sort,
some odd games, and we're up here. We played more games. That means we've worked harder.
Point percentage is the best way to do it.
I sold more cars than you. It means I worked harder.
No, that's not true at all. If you're giving away 50% of every car you sell, and I'm getting half the amount of cars, but I'm keeping 100%, who's a better salesman?
But that has nothing to do with what we just talked about.
If the New York Rangers had played the same amount of games as the Vancouver Canucks, the New York Rangers would have more points than the Vancouver Canucks by the stats.
But
they haven't. So you can't. You're trying to compare. You're trying to compare in a league where Gary needs to retire and succumb to whatever ailment he has that is causing him to shake like Michael J. Fox.
That's mean.
He needs to retire. He's been in charge of the league as long as I've been born. He came in 1993, the same year I was born. I don't know an NHL that isn't Gary Bettman's version of the NHL. That's insane. It's crazy. Now, going back to it, point percentage. The New York Rangers are first in the league because they have gotten 74.1% of their points that they could possibly get.
But
the Canucks have only got 68.8%.
Should it take into account that who they get, who they're playing, and who?
No.
Well, yeah, just like college football, they don't just look at wins and losses; they look at who you played.
Yeah, because that is the ideal formula to look at. That is 100% the ideal formula to look at. You know what? We should abolish the point system, and we should look at college football. You got it out with a straight face. You got the comment out with a straight face, which I'm very proud of you for.
Jake is very passionate tonight, Jeff McCleary says.
It's almost Christmas time.
I say he's being a bit of a brat, but that's just me. It's almost time to put him over my knee and give him a good little spanking.
So many comments I'm going to avoid with that one. So let's get into the last thing.
And the show has gone off the rails officially.
So let's...
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, because the show was on the rails to begin with. Let's blame Jeff. Last thing we want to talk about tonight before we get into the Canucks schedule and get the old man's predictions, see if he go 4 for 4 in the last 4 weeks. Zadorov fought. I don't remember who he fought. Partway through the third period, after a later hit on Petey, a hit that was not a penalty in my opinion, but deserved a retaliation.
But it was definitely. I love the fact that Zadorov went after him, If we were losing, then I might have an issue with it. We were up by 2.
And a player tried to take an
player.
advantage of our star.
One shot. Poof. It was beautiful.
But did he deserve the instigator and the 10-minute misconduct? Because we talked about this the day it happened.
And I meant to look it up. When you get the 2-minute instigator, do you automatically get a 10-minute?
Yes.
Then why don't they just call it the instigator and get 10 minutes? Like, I don't understand.
So the reason for that is it's a 10-minute misconduct. Oh. So that takes you out of the game for 10 minutes, but it's not a power play. Right. The 2-minute makes it a power play as well. So it's a 10 and a 2 and a 5 for fighting.
So, I mean, they both dropped their gloves, but I think it was definitely...
It was a game management call.
Zadorov definitely went after him. So what's the definition of instigating?
The instigator call... I don't want to pull...
a whole bunch in the last hour, I've instigated you a whole bunch. Did he go and grab him and turtle him, jersey him when he still had his gloves on? No. But, I mean, it could have gone either way. It was, I don't mind it. I really don't. It was like one of those, yeah, okay, cool.
So I'm assuming that so I pulled up the rules here, and there's a lot of different rules and sub-rules. But it's rules 7.11, instigator and aggressor. And I'm assuming they're going to say that it's point IV or point 4. Distance traveled to an altercation or travel to an altercation for the purpose of starting a fight. But the play was already... my issue with it is the play was going that way. It's not like Zadorov was going that way, turned around, and came back. Zadorov went to where the play was going, went by him and said, I'm sure, fuck you, drop the gloves, otherwise I'm going to knock you the fuck out. And the guy dropped his gloves.
We're on Facebook.
Hi, Facebook, don't ban us. If you do, it sucks to be you. We have many other places we can stream to now. But I don't think it's a fair placement or a fair way to give a Zadorov a 10-minute in that instance. Because to me, that was a code fight. That was, you took a shot at my player.
Yeah.
And you have to fight.
And you know what? I don't have an issue with him getting the 2 and the 10. To me, the game was already over at that point, really. And
but it wasn't. It was only a 2-goal lead.
It was, but I mean, it was one of those. Yeah, pretty much knew Chicago was done.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? I don't mind it. I like, we haven't had a guy like that on our team that will stand up to anybody. Like, we've had nobody to protect.
Dorsett would have been the last one that I can remember before he broke his back.
Yeah, I mean, Gino. I mean, that's how far back you got to go.
No, Bieksa fought multiple times defending the Twins.
Yeah, but Bieksa is like that tall.
Yeah, and he'd still knock you the fuck out.
Bieksa, I know you're listening.
I was going to say this. Wait a second. We just need to. No, you have the floor here.
Bieksa, I know you're listening, because we know you listen to the show. Come be a guest. That's all we want. Give us 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. If I can keep Jake quiet, 15. And
first off, you cannot do that. You cannot keep me quiet. I am the host of this goddamn show. I produce it, I direct it, do every goddamn thing around here.
Okay.
If it wasn't for me, the show would be a disaster. You know what's even more terrifying? Like, there might be a Canucks run where I will be in Europe. There's going to be like 2 weeks where I'm in Europe where you have to run the show solo. And it's going to be so boring. Fans are going to be
5,000 views on every show.
Fans are going to be begging me to come back because you'll be bored. You'll be like, yeah, I guess the Canucks won. And
that's what I'm going to have Kevin on. Kevin, come on when Jake's in.
That's just hurtful.
I'll bring Wyatt Arndt back on, and we'll spend an hour talking wrestling.
That is something we've talked about in the for the new year. Something we've
Yes.
floated back is doing one segment every month, talking about kind of the big hits on WWE, AEW.
And might even delve into some independent wrestling.
Some NEW, which is what Wyatt is a part of. Some Dungeon Wrestling, which is one of the local promotions here
With the
in
Hot
Calgary,
family.
who just had their show this past weekend.
Yeah, we didn't go.
Which looked like it was a good time. Unfortunately, I was busy and wasn't able to make it out. But
Yeah.
anyway,
what were we talking about before I went on my Kevin Bieksa rant?
the instigator Zadorov, you liking it because we have someone to stand up, and not just that, but he's also throwing hits. And it's been since day one where someone tries to come by him, and it's not a thought process to him. He just slams into him. Good clean hit, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
He gets back in position.
Well, it's funny because I haven't heard it yet, but I'm waiting for the line to be called the Twin Towers because they've been putting them with
I've been saying that
the Chaos Giraffe.
I have been saying they should be calling that since the moment we traded for him.
You did. I'll give you that.
Because when one goes down, the other one's short to follow.
There was at one point they had Hughes and Zadorov, and then Hughes and Myers.
I think at that point it's just like they're like Hughes. They're all tired. You're the only one who still got energy to keep going. Just get out there, and we'll keep throwing you with different partners.
Because you can play 40 minutes a game.
And the thing is, I know eventually we're going to see a moment where he's going to look tired. Because you can't be playing 25, 30 minutes a game. You can't. Physically, should be physically impossible. And yet he's out here.
He's doing
every single game, putting 22, 23 minutes up.
Yes.
Like when we're in tight games, he's putting up 25, almost 30 minutes.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
So, next week, who are we playing?
Week,
you didn't put...
I have the sketch. Yeah, I forgot to update that part because I was arguing with someone. So we're going to do all the way through until the new year.
Oh, shit. Okay, but I get to break those up into two.
Well, there's only 4 games.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go all one.
Because of winter break. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, we are playing Nashville. Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Stop. One at a time.
Oh, my God.
Nashville.
In Nashville.
A win.
Okay. Then we go into Dallas, where the formerly known Minnesota North Stars are now the Dallas Stars, playing in Dallas at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
A win.
On the 23rd,
ooh,
back at home for a 2-game homestand before the end of the year, we play San Jose at 8 p.m.
3?
What?
We're going to have 3 wins in a row.
All right. Then we have Christmas break, and we don't play again until the 28th. And we have the Philadelphia Flyers, who are exceeding expectations, coming in with John Tortorella, who got a few boos when Luongo mentioned him at the arena.
He'll get booed out of the arena, hopefully. Can I tell my Philadelphia Flyers story?
Wait, you have to choose. You have to choose an outcome here. You're going 4 for 4 until the new year. Okay, 8 points out of 8. I think we'll be very happy to 3-0-1, 3-1-0 will be a great result.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna stick with my 4-0.
I just think very easily.
I figured because you've been doing it all. Oh, if we could go 500, that'd be good.
No. If we go 500 in this stretch, that's a problem. Yeah. I honestly think the Flyers game, because we're off for a little bit, they're off for a bit. I think it's gonna be a good, close, tight checking game, and could go either way. I could also. That's why I'm saying a potential overtime loss or overtime win in that case. So,
can I tell you my Flyers story?
Yes. We can finish on the Flyer story, and then we'll tell everyone our plan for the next couple weeks.
Way back when I was just a wee little guy,
Many years ago.
Many years ago, I used to work a bingo at our parish, St. Jude's it was called. And at the end of the night, we'd all go into the bottom of the church and have beers or coffee or pop if you weren't old enough to have beers. And back then, I wasn't old enough to have beer, so I was drinking pop. And part of the thing, you volunteered, but then they did a draw for hockey tickets because they had season tickets that they paid for. And I won them I won quite a few times, but this one time I won, it was for years and years, we always played Philadelphia on New Year's Eve. And it was always an early game, like a 5:00 game on New Year's Eve. So I won the tickets and I took grandma, my mom. And it was the first time I ever seen a bench brawl.
I mean, that would have been Broad Street Bully days. So
it would have been in the 70s, probably late 70s. And yeah, they would have been late 70s, 77, 78. And we both left. We had no voice. We couldn't talk.
I was gonna say, I've been to a hockey game with grandma before she passed. That lady knows how to cheer at a hockey game.
Oh yeah,
give her a cowbell and give her her whiskey with a little bit of water, and she's golden.
It was always whiskey and a little bit of water.
If it was more water than whiskey, you were going back to remake it.
Yes. 3 fingers.
It's a 2-finger drink. It's 2 very wide fingers.
Exactly. So that's my Philadelphia story.
Ron, I do agree. Ron commented in when we were talking about the San Jose game. San Jose is playing everyone tough right now, and that will be a tough game. I do agree. I just think the depth of the team is going to be too much for San Jose to handle.
Yeah. I don't see it. I can't see us losing a game that stretch. So we're gonna end up being like 9 games without a loss, regulation loss.
That's wild. To even think that's a possibility when last year, again, we talked about this just before we went on the air. We have 11 losses and we're just about at the Christmas break.
Just insane.
We started the season last year 0-8-1.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So what are we doing? What are we doing for over Christmas here, bud?
So as we all are aware, Christmas is among us. Next week is Christmas Day. So we're not going to be live with a show. We are going to be getting together sometime this week. I think we're scheduling tomorrow and putting together a show to preview the World Junior Championships, because this is something that me and the old man love to watch. It's probably one of the most exciting hockey tournaments you can ever watch. If you don't watch it, what the hell are you doing? Whether you're
where
Canadian,
have you been?
You're Canadian, American, European, Russian, Australian. Australia might be hard to watch. This year might not be too terrible. I don't know. Because it is in Australia. Look, all I'm saying is Australia might have a hard time watching it when it's in North America because it's like a 12-hour time difference. So like when the game's on at 6 p.m. our time, that's 6 a.m. their time. So I understand why the Australians might not be watching the World Juniors. They're the only ones who I'm giving a pass to. The ADD is strong today. We're just flying with it, all right? But probably the funnest tournament you can watch. It also, if you're a nerd like me, you're able to watch draft prospects. You're able to watch prospects from your team. So it makes every single game that's out there interesting to watch. TSN also does a very great job. TSN does a very great job where you're able, if you're not able to watch the game live, they replay it usually in prime time when the games are in Europe like they are this year, because most of our games are at 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific time, I think.
I think it's 11:30 Alberta time, so 10:30 Pacific. Yeah.
Which is early and it sucks, but better than sometimes where it's been in Russia. And it's been on at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
But as you and I talked about, it would have been better because
I can go to bed at 6 p.m., wake up at 3, watch the game, then get ready and go to work.
Yes.
Rather than getting to work and being like, hey, I'm taking my lunch break at 11 and I'm ending it at 3, deal with it.
Not that we've ever done that before.
No, never. So we might put it. We're gonna discuss things off air, but we might actually put the episode out on the 26th, in the morning of the 26th,
Yeah.
or the morning of the 24th,
Well,
because the tournament starts on the 26th in the morning.
yeah,
in
we
our
could
time.
we could let it drop on the 24th even. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Exactly, something to talk about. And then the week after that, we are doing another recorded episode because it's New Year's Day. We've talked about this because I'm going to be in no shape to be doing anything on New Year's Day. Don't even look at me with that look of confusion. We talked about this. We are going to be putting together our favorite moments of sporting in BC, CFL, NHL, Vancouver Canucks, BC Lions.
We'll do like the top 5 in
Again.
the CFL and the top 5 in the NHL.
I have a few different ideas that we might.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. That's, to me, that's going to be more of a, if you normally listen to us on the podcast, I think that's going to be more of a YouTube video to watch, because
you
I
have
might try to take some time and edit together and get some clips
Oh,
of
really?
the moments we're talking about.
That'd be
So
cool.
again, everything's kind of fluid right now. So keep your eyes out on our socials to see what we're doing when we are going to be releasing some things. But if you've got nothing else, old man,
Nope, I'm good.
you had to think about that for a little while. I'm happy you made sure you had got all the thoughts out of your brain. Did you double check the thought you put back in your brain? Did it come out already? Or
I still don't know what that was.
you're the one who did it. So
Till next week.
Whoa. Where can everyone find you on Twitter, old man?
Old man.
Old man.
I don't know.
At Old Man HSP is his handle.
That's it.
You can find me at JStreams, JEH Streams. There will be no streams this week because it's Christmas and everything's crazy, and I don't want to bog myself down with more shit that I need to worry about. So streams probably won't be back until next week. On the
Lazy.
personal channel. Instead I'm going to be editing the video that we're putting together. No, it's okay. Focus on this podcast rather than my own streaming. But for you beautiful human beings at home listening, please do hit that like, subscribe button. Share us with your friends. If you see us out in the wild, say hi. If you are scrolling through TikTok, YouTube shorts, share them with friends. If you disagree with us, tell us. Drop a comment. Review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts while it's still around. It's going to be enveloped into YouTube here shortly.
Oh, really?
Google, they're shutting it down, I think April or May. They're shutting down Google Podcasts. It's going to be all just into their YouTube app, which is probably for the best. But until then, you guys have a wonderful Christmas, a happy New Year. We will see you guys in 2024 and be ready to celebrate one full year of the Hughes Sports Podcast. One full year, 52 weeks of this insanity somehow, that we have people coming back and listening to us because apparently you guys are just as crazy as we are. Mwah, and good night.